So recently I photographed an event, and this was for a 30th anniversary for a business. Now, the night was fantastic, I really enjoyed myself and everybody was really pleasant, but there is a topic that I need to discuss, and that is when to use the flash gun, because this has a societal impact in its usage. Now, technically for you, it could be the difference between a shot looking fantastic or looking really nice. And whilst the benefit technically outweighs what you're trying to achieve, you want to produce the best photographs for the client, the societal impact is that, like in the bowling alley, there are families with kids about. And the last thing that you want is for them to be uncomfortable, because they will be watching you, and they will be watching you where you point the camera. So whilst you're trying to be discreet and photograph the event, you want to minimize any attention that you are bringing to yourself, because whilst you have the consent of the business to photograph them, you have not had the consent of the family for their children to accidentally be in any of the photos, and that can make families very, very uncomfortable. So to minimize risk and to minimize any unfavorable encounters, shall we say, because the bowling alley did say that they had no issue with us photographing the event, but they wanted us to be very mindful that there has been instances in the past where family members have gotten quite irate and they've had to be separated. So to minimize that risk, I decided that I wasn't going to use the flash at all. That did mean I had to bump up the ISO, that I had to drop the shutter speed, and I had to be very, very mindful of my bodily movement so that I don't incur as much motion blur to the shots. That wasn't intentional, so that I had to take into account for. But the peace of mind that I had knowing that as long as I stuck to the lanes and I was pointing the camera at the right direction and it wasn't interfering with family and friends, then I was going to be okay. And the flash will be a big beacon for anybody to see that someone's taking photos. So you want to try and minimize that risk, and you just need to let the clients know that because of where the event is being held, these are the expectations. I cannot use my flash gun because I don't want to cause unwanted attention, because you just want the night to be fantastic for them and for them to remember the night as it should be, which is enjoyable. Yeah, so that's it. So just consider when to use a flash, not because from a technical point of view, but more because of the societal impact that it will have. Cheers.